Hey, good morning, everybody. So, ending week 4, heading into week 5, with this video, I'm gonna knock out a couple things. I'm gonna include it as the devotional of week 5, and also a conversational piece with the discussion of week 5. And the devotional is a reflection a little bit into week 4. So, week 4, week 5 combination, all in one. Discussion and devotional this morning. So I was thinking about last week's topic of mental health, and my last post, if you watched it or read what I had written down, I had a reflection on some of my experiences with my daughter with depression. But in this morning's prayer time for me, I was reminded that as leaders, we deal with anxiety and fear and pressure and tightness all the time. And what reminded me of that is I have a speaking engagement this coming Thursday in front of 100 head coaches, and part of my new gig with Character Plus. And I just found myself getting overwhelmed with fear, anxiety, anxiousness on performance and all the stuff that you guys are probably very familiar with as leaders and yourself. So I was reminded, God presented a passage in my heart and from the scriptures that spoke directly to me, and it comes from 1 Peter 5:6-7, and it says, "Humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that he may exalt you in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you." And two things were highlighted to me. Number one, humble yourself. So that's what God was calling me to do. Humble yourself. The speaking engagement is not really about you. And then cast this anxiety. God, I'm going to put this anxiety, this fear, I'm going to put it at your feet at the cross, and cast it on him, because he cares about me. He does want me to do well. He does want me to rely on him and not on my own well-being. So I present that passage to you as well, because as leaders, we're always in something that could cause us to feel control, want to have control, and cause anxiety on that. So heading into this week 5, the discussion is really around, multiple sports. Do kids play multiple sports? Should they focus more on one sport or not? So I'll just relate some of my experiences with my 3 daughters, who are all athletes, as they went through grade school and into high school a while, but not too long ago. But so club sport was still a major thing. But my wife and I decided to make a philosophical decision that they were going to participate through grade school in every sport that we could possibly get them into. Now, they kind of started bending their skills towards a sport, so we did get them involved in club sports, but they also participated. And I can tell you from my experiences that some things that I reflect on that I really felt, Susie and I, my wife and I, really felt pressure to devote more time to club, because there was a feeling of they're falling behind in their skills. They're falling behind in their rank and file in that sport. So that feeling was real. We fought against it, and we abided by the philosophy that we went into the thing with, and that was, no, participate. Let's get them participating. And what we found through that is that the girls, they gained a lot of confidence in the sport that they performed, that they played club sports in. But while they enjoyed the games, the other sports, what we found is that they resisted them a little bit. My oldest daughter, especially, She did not want to play. She did, like for example, her 8th grade year. I don't want to play those sports. And when we dug down deep into it, it was because she didn't have the confidence in those sports like she did in her club sport being soccer. So we resisted that again and got her to move into that space. And I think there are some valuable lessons in that for her, in that it's okay to feel uncomfortable at times, to enter a situation, to be uncomfortable. You don't always have to gravitate towards the thing that you're confident with, but you're gonna enter in, even as leadership, you're gonna enter into things that you're uncomfortable with. So that learning experience, whether and it wasn't intentional necessarily at the time, but it certainly has played out as an element of her experience with sports, that as we kept our kids involved with youth sports that they weren't club oriented with, they had to learn a new role. They maybe weren't the best. They had to be uncomfortable and then gain confidence in that experience. They had to maybe sit the bench at times and learn a different role. So lots of value. So what I would advocate for is to participate in as many sports as you possibly can up through 8th, 9th grade. And then whatever sport that they are more aligned with, that they can start narrowing some things down to 2, maybe 1 sport. Our daughters all went into 1 sport in their sophomore year is when they did that. And it wasn't, I think that we just kind of gave them a voice in their own path at that time. And that's what they decided to do. So just some thoughts to this week's discussion. Keep up the great work. I love this class. You guys are all participating at such a high level, and I'm really enjoying it. And have a great week. I look forward to your thoughts.